Season 6, episode 66. 666. What does that mean? The number of the beast? I don't know. There's a movie. Isn't there a movie called 667, The Neighbor of the Beast, or is it just a joke?
That was the album, wasn't it?
The Neighbor of the Beast. 667. We didn't come up with that, but it's always been funny to me. Hey, everybody. See, it is December. There's only a couple of weeks left until Christmas and a couple of weeks left of 2021, which means we'll be in a new year, 2022. Which would be the third year of the coronavirus and whatever variants come our way. And we look forward to that. My name is Tim. There's Jeff. There's Dustin. Stephanie is on extended leave while she gets her kitchen fixed. And she's really busy. She's got aminos and she's fostering a dog and she's got all sorts of stuff going on in her house. Plus it's holiday season and we all know how hectic that is. So we'll see her when she comes back.
But she has to wear that cone. And she can't come on the podcast while she's wearing that.
I know. She told me the other night that she had stitches in her hip and the cone fell off and she chewed them. So she had to take herself to the emergency room to have them restitched. It's crazy. Pickle got a sturdier cone to put around her head. So now she can't get down and pull those stitches out of her hip. Mommy and baby are currently in Tybee or on Tybee. Do you say you're on an island? You're not in an island. So I've just been watching a little bit of TV here and there. And we'll talk about that. There's an hour's worth of television I was adamantly opposed to until I watched it. And so we'll talk about that.
Housekeeping, you want me to jerk you off?
What kind of hotel is this?
First, I got to tell you about our holiday special. Our holiday special, Christmas, whatever holiday you celebrate this time of year, we're going to get together on Sunday, December 19th at Atlanta Pizza and Euro, 1 to 4 p.m. It'll be brought to you by First Crush IPA. They'll be there. Mike is getting a keg so you can sample it. You can buy it by the draft, among other beers that are there. This time in our get-together, we'll be ordering off the menu. And so you'll be able to get whatever you want. If you want, you don't have to have anything. If you don't want to have anything, you can just bring your own bottle of water and sit there and stare at us. That's fine with us. And hopefully we're gonna try to find a way to show a holiday special the third hour, so we all get to have fun. Bring Christmas cookies, Christmas brownies, any kind of treat you want, and we'll do it like last time. We'll set it up and everybody can sample, and we'll have a good time. So I believe, Dustin, you put something on the Facebook page.
I think Jeff put an invite.
Event, yeah.
Okay. How many do we have checked in? Are people going to come?
Like 10 people so far.
All right. Well, hopefully y'all can make it. You can bring your kids. It'll be a lot of fun. And we're not recording a show, but we'll have fun. We'll do voices and we'll talk about all the things we talk about on here. And basically just want to get together with everybody and thank everyone for, supporting us all these many years.
Is Gil going to come?
We'll have to see about that. I don't know. I would love it if he did, but we'll have to see. So that again is December 19th, Sunday, 1 to 4 p.m. at Atlanta Pizza and Euro. And Dustin, I believe we have a new social media page.
We do. We've jumped into the young kids game of TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's our TikTok page is at RL Podcast. That way you don't have much to spell. It's just RL Podcast.
Jeff, why do you go ahead, finish.
I was just going to say it's and like a lot of TikToks, ours is going to be, it's for the podcast. So it'll be promotional stuff. It'll be show clips. It'll be things just to, try to get out there in that market. But if anybody out there has a TikTok and, please get on there, follow us, like some videos, and we can get that started.
Thank you, man. Jeff, what particular reason do you have TikTok for?
Ding dong.
Ding dong. What is it?
Just the ding dong videos.
Just like the ding dong videos. There's no women on there that you like to look at, or like I'm sure that like if you were like me and you were following women, they would all be in the late 30s and above, right?
Of course.
Yeah, you wouldn't be following Bob Weir's daughter anywhere or anything like that.
No.
Hooping at her. Okay, I'm just curious. I have a TikTok, but I don't really look at it unless someone sends me a link and then I open up and look at it.
What's weird is to see like celebrities' kids on there that are all grown up and you didn't know who they were. And,
Really?
and you're like Anthony Kiedis has got a kid that's like popular on there, and he's a douchebag, but
Gillian Anderson's son is on there too. He makes a bunch of videos and she refuses to be in any of them.
Yeah,
Really?
that's usually the thing. Yeah, they won't get in them. Like the parents won't like lend their image to their TikTok pages.
Celebrity kid TikToks. That's funny. And so what does he do? Chase his mom around and like, hey, be in my video, and she won't do it?
Yeah, basically.
Does she talk in her fake British accent?
Yep.
No, you can't do that.
Does he call her Scully?
Golly, in my TikTok. I don't know. Gil doesn't have a TikTok yet, but then again, it doesn't matter.
There's a bunch of really popular baby TikToks.
I was going to say, by the time he gets in school, he'll be assigned to TikTok and the rest of his social media. It'll come in.
There's this one dude named Zeth, Z-E-T-H.
Uh-huh.
And he's like the skater dude, and him and his little daughter just make videos, and she is hilarious because she Z-E-T-H. They call her little flamingo.
Mm-hmm.
They just like talk to each other like they're doing a podcast, and she is dead on with the yes ands.
Okay.
She's a total improv queen, and she's only like 1 year old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Her out. I don't know. Send me a link. If you send it to me in my instant messenger, I will certainly look at something like that. I am doing this year again, doing video greetings. I'll make this plug really quick so we can get to talking about stuff. But I am doing the voice greetings and all that. Remember, I've done it in the past. The voice greetings are just simple MP3s I send to you. That's $25. These are personalized Christmas greetings, doing any voice you choose. I got some options for you on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com Tim Andrews ATL. That's what it is. That's the public figure page or whatever. And you can find out all the details there. I'll also do a video one where, I'll put my face on, and that's a certain level. I think that's 50. And then there's one where I have to do a lot of video editing. That one's $100. I know it sounds expensive. You can go check it out. I will send you an example. But again,
it's a Cameo.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And plus, I personalize it for you a little bit more, and we can talk back and forth. And you can tell me whether you like it or not. So, like I said, just go to facebook.com Tim Andrews ATL. I guess you have to put a slash in there. So that's enough shilling for the time being. I do want to say that I'm not very good at doing these brackets. I had no idea what an undertaking it would be, but I will finish it. I haven't even finished round one with all the different entries yet, so I will get that done, I swear.
It gets easier as it goes.
Oh, I know. The one category is done. I don't really want to talk about the category that's done because like I said, I sound stupid. But our ultimate Christmas bracket is available on our Twitter. It is at radio_Labyrinth. And so far, in the first round for classic Christmas movies, It's a Wonderful Life topped A Christmas Carol from 1938. Babes in Toyland beat The Bishop's Wife. White Christmas beat Heidi. And Miracle on 34th Street beat Scrooged.
Oh, no. Scrooge is out already?
No, not Scrooge. No. Scrooge from
Scrooge. Okay.
The 54.
Yeah, with Alistair Sim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. So yeah, you can check it out. By the time we'll be way advanced, I think we'll be in the final rounds maybe this Saturday.
I've already lost thousands of dollars on this bracket.
I know, it's terrible because it's so shitty. If they did the NCAA bracket like this, people would have used their shirts way more than they do now. But like I said, I try. check that out. I have to, before I want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about the holiday toys from this year. I put a link in there and see what it's like, since I haven't really paid any attention to this kind of thing since I don't know, maybe the 90s. All these toys that are popular now will be passé by the time my son cares about toys. So, but I want to talk about it because there's all sorts of weird things in here, crazy things I couldn't even imagine. But I do have to tell you that I need a big bowl of crow because I watched live in front of a studio audience. That's the name of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On ABC. And man, that was really, really good. It was nostalgia with a modern touch and reverence to the source material. And I had no idea it was so good.
It was awesome.
I think it was a lot to do with the era.
Yeah.
I think they didn't hit good with the last one. I mean, it was,
This
I think,
is right in our wheelhouse.
Right.
Like the Jeffersons at Good Times was maybe a little bit older than us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one hit all the Gen Xers.
Yeah.
Right in the heart. So yeah, all the openings and stuff were great. Seeing all the old cast
The commercials.
in. Yeah. Yeah. They included
all those commercials with God, what's his
Carlton.
name? Yeah. Alfonso Ribeiro. Those were great.
Yep.
Yeah. The commercial, what was it? The Lay's chips commercial was hilarious. The gin one. Yeah, they're all really pretty funny. But it was done with such reverence. And I think you're right. The first ones were okay, but they were really, those were shows for the boomer generation. These are Gen X. We were in middle school or we were in junior high or senior high when those shows were on that we watched this week being recreated. And all the people that did the recreation are of our generation. They may be slightly older or slightly younger than us, but for the most part, they're Gen X too. So they grew up the same way, having reverence for things that came before us because it was still in the pop culture, unlike today when there's too many choices.
How great did Lisa Whelchel look?
Oh, she looked great. They all looked great. Lisa Whelchel looked good. Mindy Cohn looked good. Kim Fields has always looked good. I thought it was nice to see them. And now Blair, I don't know that she sang that song live, but she did okay. At the end, she was kind of struggling. I love that Norman Lear dropped the F-bomb. If you watched it live, you got to hear the fuck, right? Did you watch it live?
I bleeped.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Wonder why. I wonder
it's
if
on a 7-second delay or whatever, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Whatever SNL does.
Yeah, that's that national 7-second delay. They have to have it.
I watched it on Hulu, which meant the commercials weren't there. So I had to go out and find the commercials, which they were all posted on YouTube. That's how I got to see him.
Catherine Hahn
was great as Mrs. Garrett, huh?
Fucking fantastic as Mrs. Garrett. She had to do the most work because she was in both shows.
Yeah, but Catherine Hahn's Joe was pretty good. I mean, that was like pitch perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, let's talk about the cast members of Facts of Life. You had Tootie was Gabrielle Union, Blair Jennifer Aniston, which, by the way, the real Blair looked better than Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, I know. I thought so too.
Natalie was Allison Tolman. Now, who is she?
Oh, Allison Tolman. I'm sorry, Allison Tolman. She was in Fargo. She played the female cop in the first season or second season.
All right. Yeah. Tim Hollister, Holyfield, was played by Jason Bateman, also done very well. And then Jon Stewart was hilarious as Rocky Price, Carl Rocky Price, who was a deadhead. And I don't remember any of that. When that show was on, I probably didn't even know much about the Grateful Dead, if anything, when that episode aired. But that was kind of cool. And they thought they were heavy metal or whatever. But the thing is, I remember bits and pieces of that. Whenever the MoMA is mentioned, the Metropolitan, what is it? The museum, the Museum of Modern Art, whether it be, and most of the time it's referenced to me in a crossword puzzle, or if I see it mentioned on some TV show, just whenever that came into my head, I always thought of Blair Warner from the Facts of Life. And I never knew why, or why I still do. Like if I saw it a week ago in the New York Times crossword puzzle, so Museum MoMA, I would think of Blair. And when that scene came up, it all came back to me. I'm like, that's why, because of that kid that, she found out that she liked him because he went to the, he went to the same museum she did. But I remember watching that show live. So that's my takeaway from that episode, was that part of it.
I reached out to Daniel Fishman, the guy that played the deadhead.
Uh-huh.
and he said that they done good, and he really enjoyed Jon Stewart's ad lib about that when he said you're into sci-fi, and he goes, that's not an insult.
Oh, that's cool that you reached out to him. Did you ask him to come on, or were you just
I didn't want to see what you guys thought before I asked him.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I hope they do more of these from the 80s. I imagine they'll probably go to the 90s now, but there's such a wealth of shows. The Different Strokes was really, really good. What'd you have? John Lithgow was playing Mr. Drummond.
He was great.
Snoop Dogg was Vernon, who was Willis's friend. Willis was played by Damon Wayans. He was really funny. And Kevin Hart was spot on as Arnold. He did a great job. I thought it was very funny.
Nobody playing Dana Plato.
She must not have been in that episode.
Yeah,
didn't she have whole seasons she wasn't even on?
Yeah.
Because
that was season 1 though, because Mrs. Garrett was still there.
Yeah.
Didn't she stay for 2 seasons, or was just only one?
She was there a lot of the time, I think, until later on when her drug habit started being real bad.
It may have just been an episode they could take a line or two out of if they needed to, and it wouldn't affect continuity.
That was kind of sad. Todd, the real Todd Bridges coming out and introducing the show.
Yeah, that was cool.
Being like, everybody's dead except me.
Right.
And that was what Boys to Men, half of Boys to Men.
Yeah,
singing.
That was
intro.
great.
Yeah,
that was
great.
really good. I like that a lot. Gil's first Christmas is coming up, and we haven't watched any Christmas specials yet because he's certainly not going to remember any of them. I don't know. What do you get? I'm going to have to ask you as a dad, Dustin. What do you get a 7-month-old around that age for Christmas? Anything? Just clothes or stuff that they're going to eventually play with?
I would think it's usually a mix of yes, clothes and toys that are interactive. Anything that'll keep them, like it's the infant version of fidget spinners. So, it's things to just, usually sensation, based stuff, like, things that you can move around. Remember those, when we were kids, used to have those boards that had the wires on them with the wooden like blocks, and you could move them around all over the place.
Every doctor's office lobby.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, things like those are usually the best, because those, they can use for the next couple of years and really, enjoy. Plus, it's beneficial for them. Besides that, they're not gonna. I would always stay away from things that were, pop. I don't know, like current. Go for the old standards. Not whatever the modern version of Lincoln Logs or his
Fisher Price stuff.
Yeah. But I would look for some classic Fisher Price stuff, because a lot of the new stuff doesn't have the same enjoyment value, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to go about 50 years past where I should, or 40 years past where I need to be for that.
I'm going to go to that Richard's Variety store in Midtown, because they have all that stuff.
Yeah.
You can get like almost, stuff's not made out of wood anymore, but they do have a lot of that stuff. So what about Bag of Glass?
Bag of Glass.
Bag of Glass. It's a bag of glass. Johnny Space Commander. Plastic sack.
Our ever popular Bag of Nails. Bag of Glass.
What was the one where it was the Fonzie doll that when you pushed it, a
switchblades came out?
It's a bag of glass. It's a bag of glass. Bob Dole, speaking of Dan Aykroyd, that's the character he did. E-Buzz Miller. No, E-Buzz Miller was the porn director. I can't remember the name of the character, but it was always a consumer affairs show, and he made toys. His company made toys.
Mainway Toys.
Mainway Toys. And one of us, it's a bag of glass. It's a bag of glass. That kid has fun with a bag of glass. But when Bob Dole passed away, former presidential candidate Bob Dole passed away, everyone remembers Norm Macdonald's impression of him, which right there in 95, 96, when he ran against Bill Clinton for president, Bob Dole nailed it, captured the essence of his character, made it his own, made it really, really funny. Didn't show that he hated him or anything like that, but just did really well. But I watched an old bit from 1988 when Bob Dole was running against George Bush Sr. and Pat Robertson, and Dan Aykroyd played him, and he nailed it. It sounded exactly like him, and it was really, really funny. And also, if you can find that anywhere, NBC has that stuff posted. But you can also check out Al Franken doing an amazing Pat Robertson, the frozen grin. Do you remember that, Jeff or Dustin?
Yeah.
But he nails that, the fast speaking and the Kansas accent, because Kansas accent, Canadian accent, it's not that difficult to manipulate your voice to do that. So I love finding that old stuff. Just it's because it's history and it's funny, and that's what they used to be really, really good at doing on SNL. So in spite of a bag of glass, I guess I won't get him a galactic snacking Grogu.
Why not? That was the best toy on that whole list.
Yeah, I know, but that would be more for Dad to play with. By the time Grogu will be an adult. By the time Gil has consciousness, how about the rainbow high color change car? I ain't gonna let my kid play with a rainbow colored car. Not in this house.
How about kinetic sand?
Yeah,
sand is pretty neat.
Yeah, they have a weird name for it here. Satisfactory set. Everything has a rainbow on it, which is fine. I'm just saying that everything has a rainbow on it. I like this 4-in-1 ultimate learning bot from Fisher Price. Kids will be delighted with over 120 songs, sounds, and phrases about letters, numbers, shapes, and colors. I think I'm going to go with the Grogu. That's what I'm going to get him. Or the
One of the Grogu baby alives that poops.
Ew, he already does.
Poops blue milk or whatever.
I would shoot for the Megalodon monster car wash.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't either. It's like
some show.
Remember when we were kids, you had those stompers trucks that you could put the AA batteries in, and they just let them see what they could roll over.
Yeah,
that was cool. This is like the most tamed down version of that I've ever seen. Is it a cool assault course for my truck? No, it's a car wash for your truck.
This is just like a real car wash. The color changing truck will go through a power wash, cleaning brushes, and spin dry with his 3-foot-long mega set, Mexican not included. Now, I don't mean that in a negative way. Okay, come on.
Monster Jam.
That's my jam. But I don't mean that in a negative way. It was a joke.
But I did have, there was one like ray of sunshine on this entire list, was the fact that the double easel, which is the most probably imaginative and creative toy on here, was the best seller.
Yeah.
So at least there's some hope for a generation of of kids on screens.
See, I've been one of those people for the last 15, 20 years of my life saying things like, parents today don't raise their kids the same way I was raised. And parents today, they don't do this. And parents today, they don't do that. And the schools do this. And the schools do that. I don't know that to be a fact because I never had kids.
You're not letting Gil talk on the phone.
Well, he's a baby.
Well, he always lays in the hallway and ties the phone up and stretches the cord and makes it all bendy.
Every time I try to call from work and the phone's busy. And I'm like,
you don't have that many quarters, man.
Well, I don't have that many quarters and I can't keep pulling over. It's raining. I'm trying to get home and I want to know if my wife wants me to stop by the dairy to pick up a couple of glass bottles of milk. We're almost out of chocolate milk because we know that's good to give to your child 6 times a day. It's on the chart, the health chart. It says right here, 6 glasses of chocolate milk a day will help your child grow and help their bones. And also eat as much bread as possible. In the morning, have toast. At lunch, have a big sandwich with a big roll. And for dinner, make sure you have a bunch of rolls. And before you go to bed, have your evening roll because you can't have enough bread or grains. We were told.
Right.
And eggs are good for you. Wait a minute. What week is it?
Oh, eggs are bad for you. No, wait, they're good for you. Now they're bad for you. And Gil, you're part of the coffee generation. And the Pepsi generation. So mix them both, coffee and Pepsi. Delicious. So I guess I'll have to learn about all that stuff now. These are the things I think about. Your children are all grown up or almost all grown up. Jeff's kids, they were taken away by defects. We don't know where they are. And I'm going to have to go to these meetings and these functions, I'm assuming, unless the pandemic lasts for 20 years and then it'll all be Zoom. But still, I feel like I'm going to be that old man there looking at the parents going, what the fuck? There's a disconnect. These kids are 30 years younger than I am. And they will be. They'll be 30 years younger than me or 20 years younger than me at the least. So.
But they'll be younger than you, but they're going through the parenting thing as just like you are.
Right.
You know, there's some things that kind of extend beyond age when it comes to parenting. So, I mean, don't take all of that on yourself.
Oh, believe me.
You and Chris Hardwick can be in the Grandpa Dad Club.
Why did he just have a kid?
He's about to have a kid, and he's
how old is Chris Hardwick?
He's 51, I think. Yeah.
Oh, he hates me, so I'll never. No, he doesn't hate me. He hates the show I was on. Well, cool. Well, I look forward to it. Our Christmas tree's filling up with all sorts of stuff for Gil, and I'm excited for Christmas to come. And we do hope that you'll come to our Christmas party. Just don't set the tree out front on fire like the homeless guy in New York did to the Fox News building's Christmas tree, which apparently was made out of gasoline.
Yeah. You're using that kerosene-based plastic on that tree.
Yeah, that thing burned. Part of the war on Christmas 2021. Shots fired. All right, we'll take a little break and then come and talk about some current events and also what we watched and all that jazz. So don't go away. Hey, if you're watching or listening to the show on Saturday, then you know that last night was the premiere of season 6, the final season of The Expanse. Let us know what you think if you enjoyed it on our social media. A couple of stories. The Boys has an animated spinoff coming out called Diabolical. Who knows about that? You can talk about it.
It's animated. That's all I know.
Yeah.
But it's going to be made by the same people that make The Boys. So I imagine it'll be good.
I wonder who it'll be about. Let's see. Here's some of the. There's going to be stories by Aquafina, Garth Ennis, Elliot and Lana Glazer, Simon all these names I can't say them. I feel stupid. Rakiopa, Justin Roiland, and Ben Bayouth, Andy Samberg, Aisha Tyler, Seth Rogen, and a whole bunch of people. So I guess it's going to be like side stories with the characters from the show. Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah, it looks like they're Rogen and Goldberg like remember the Animatrix, the animated side stuff from the Matrix? That's what they're comparing it to. That's what they wanted to make for the Boys universe.
So letting other people be creative with the characters in that universe and create and write stories and stuff.
Yeah, just expanding the universe. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Garth Ennis, that's awesome. So yeah, I look forward to that. I'll watch that show. What else is going on? When does The Boys come back, by the way? Anybody know off the top of their head?
No, I haven't heard. I know they were filming.
Yeah. Okay. And The Boys is a great show. Fear the Walking Dead was renewed for season 8. Why are they doing that? I guess the ratings are good. Kim Dickens is returning. Is that good? I thought she died.
Yeah, she did die. That's the thing. They had her on Talking Dead to have her send off and everything, but she's coming back. I guess she wasn't dead.
Well, so maybe she'll just play a walker. She'll just
she's back, and they say she's alive and blah blah blah.
It was her twin sister.
Yeah. The Fear of the Walking Dead is the best of all of the shows.
But you gave up when Garrett Dillahunt left the show.
But then they got
Carradine.
Yeah, David Carradine.
I want to say the right name. You sure it's David?
Yeah, Keith is the dead one, right?
Keith wasn't available. Yeah. Cool. HBO Max's Harry Potter anniversary retrospective teasing a star-studded return to Hogwarts with everyone except the creator. God, I can't believe it's been 20 years. Those movies. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, just the progression of the books and the movies, and which were weird because that's one of the few series that the book series was as popular or even more so than the movie series.
Yeah.
Yeah. The books were great. I thought she was a good writer, but to really enjoy the books, for me, it was always about Jim Dale.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fantastic narrator. Although I have listened to Stephen Fry do the first one, and that's also pretty good, but nowhere with the characterizations. And Dale, if you start at the beginning with his narration, you can hear him like become the characters, which is cool too. Because at the beginning, Hagrid sounded a little different, Dumbledore sounded a little different, but everybody grew into all those characters. And speaking of narration, before we go on, I want to thank Brian Troxel, who came on the show for Radio Labyrinth Presents. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, go back and listen or watch it here on our YouTube page, because he was just so much fun to talk to, and with his roles, he's an Atlanta actor and he's working, and that's good. He was in the first episode of Hawkeye, and hopefully there's more coming from that character. And he's also in the upcoming season of Cobra Kai. And he has quite a big resume. So check out that show if you missed it. And again, thanks to him for coming on. But back to the Harry Potter thing real quick. They're going to have appearances from Robbie Coltrane. Of course, that's Hagrid. Matthew Lewis, Mark Williams, Daniel Radcliffe will be there. Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, who I have said for a long time now should be the next Doctor Who, but that'll never happen. I think he'd be great as Doctor Who. His sense of humor, his acting, and he's a ginger, and Doctor Who never wants to be a ginger. And then maybe they'll go and retcon and say that the Doctor did always exist. I heard that's what happened, that they killed they just went back and wrecked the whole origin of the Time Lords. Well, it was last season that they had this big special, and it proved that the Time Lord, that he was never really the Doctor. I don't know. It's just all crazy. I'm not interested. Helena Bonham Carter will be there. Ralph Fiennes, Jason Isaacs, Gary Oldman, Tom Felton, James Phelps, Oliver Phelps. Those, of course, being the Weasley twins. Bonnie Wright, and on and on and on. Except, of course, for the author, because she is a turf bitch.
And I doubt Snape will make it.
No, unfortunately, he won't. But it would be cool if he could. That guy was an awesome actor, and pretty much since 1988, really in the forefront of pop culture, because we all know how we were introduced to him, right? Alan Rickman was Hans Gruber in the greatest non-Christmas movie of all time. Bill Clay. But first, get me my detonators. Oh, wait, when did he turn into Chekhov? The detonators, Captain Kirk. Oh, by the way, Jeff, I started watching that Center Seat show.
Yeah.
And I went through 4 episodes, and then there aren't any more episodes.
I think you got to pay for the other ones.
Yeah, that ain't happening. So when can I watch it?
I'm not either. So I keep waiting. I got it set on my DVR. Maybe they'll show them on TV eventually.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this show's great, and there's a whole bunch.
I think there's 4 more that have aired, but on the pay channel.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
They'll probably just run them through the series, and then once they've completed it, it'll flip.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for.
I hope so.
I'm not going to pay for a History Plus or whatever.
Yeah, me either. It's really well done, and it's too bad they couldn't get Shatner to be a part of it, but I imagine he's too busy or probably too tired.
He's doing an unexplained show on the Learning Channel or whatever.
Also, he doesn't do anything for free.
Yeah,
and that's his prerogative, I guess. But it would be cool. They're using the last couple of interviews with Leonard Nimoy, and then they have cast members who are still with us, and they're talking. So that's pretty cool. AP Bio has been canceled. What's that show? And
that's that show on Peacock with the dude from It's Always Sunny.
Is it good?
Oswald. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
it actually should have been canceled like 2 years ago. So it's a bonus that we still got 2 more seasons.
And what makes it funny? Tell me. What's it about?
It's set in high school. It's kind of like a head of the class kind of thing.
It's like a modern head of the class. That's what I've always thought of it as, with him basically playing the dentist character as
Len
a teacher.
Howard. Yeah. I'm sure that's pretty much the extent of his acting abilities. He's saying that so much for himself on the Always Sunny podcast.
He didn't. For what he's created and what they've created, that's all he needs.
Yeah. Invasion is renewed for a season 2. I'm sure you guys have seen the season finale. I have not yet.
No, it hasn't aired yet.
It hadn't aired yet. It airs Friday. It airs last night if you're watching this Saturday. So we haven't seen it yet, but I watched episode 9. It
was good, wasn't it?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, it took a weird turn for me. It seemed like all of a sudden it really started looking like the only reason that the aliens are here are to get rid of humans and save the planet. And that's what it was pushing, I thought.
Where did you see that? What gave you that impression? I'm curious.
The way that the boy was communicating with them and the flashes that he was seeing, it looked like he was seeing their collective mind, which showed like that they were on a planet that all the resources and everything had been burned up, and that's why they're traveling. And when they get to this planet, the only, the basic new sci-fi green thing to do is to say humans are the virus. They're the thing on the planet that's causing all the destruction. And if they were gone, it would be an oasis.
Mhm.
That just, to me, it seemed like where it was going.
That's disappointing. And then you have to assume that whatever kind of beings they are could exist in the same ecosystem as Earth.
Well, they couldn't. That was what they were terraforming. Because he said that's what the army guy was saying in the control room. He was like, they're terraforming the atmosphere, making it poisonous for human beings. And but I don't get the boys, Neo thing that he was doing at the end where he, kind of froze stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This last episode looks like it's going to be a cleanup episode, literally, from what happened at the end of the 9th. But season 2, great. See where they can take it. But I just thought of all the buildup they've done through 8 episodes to finally come to some kind of point, it was a little hokey, in my opinion.
I guess I'm going to have to agree with you. All right, I'll do what I watched, and I think we already did it. I did not watch episode 5 of Dexter. I did watch the most recent Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I thought was very funny. I love it when he's looking at Richard Lewis and he's, when are you going to die? Why don't you just die? But Richard Lewis does look really old. And, we all age. I look old now. But, I remember Richard Lewis being young, and especially since I'm rewatching earlier seasons of Curb, this is so different. Of course, even David looks older. But I like that.
Tracy Ullman was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, Tracy Ullman's always funny, and this is no exception. Invasion, we already talked about. I watched the first 2 episodes of Always Sunny. I think it's great that they tie everything that happened on January 6th to them in some way. Have you guys watched it yet?
Yeah, they're looking older too.
They are looking older.
Big jump from the last season. Of course, it's been
a couple of years,
3 years since the last one.
Yeah, and this is their 15th season, which makes them the longest running sitcom in history, live action sitcom in history.
Well deserved.
Yeah,
there's a lot of shows that got close to that number that didn't deserve that many seasons. It's Always Sunny definitely does.
Now, if they had a regular television schedule, there'd be over 300 episodes.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? So
and they'd have been kicked off of every station they would have been on too.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm enjoying their podcast too, because they don't really take it seriously. They're not breaking everything down. Speaking of podcasts, I guess the Talking Sopranos podcast is about to wrap up. The last show they did was Blue Comet, which is the penultimate episode. Is that the proper usage of penultimate? The one where Bobby Bacalert, and a spoiler alert, gets shot and still gets shot. They go to war with
they need to just go to another show when they're done with this show.
I know. I would love
to start doing The Wire.
The character is Phil Leotardo, and the actor, who's also giving me a brain fart right now, who's that? Frank Vincent. Okay, I made it through. My God, age. Woof. And I can't blame it on gummies because I don't do gummies. I would love it if they could talk about anything. They do talk about anything. If you ever listen to the Talking Sopranos podcast, it's almost 2 hours long. It usually starts with an interview. I'm behind, so I just listened to Tim Daly, and that one was really good. Tim Daly is a cool dude. And the Blue Comet episode, which was this recent one, maybe by the time you hear this, the series finale will be done. But they spoke with Syl, of course, little Steven Van Zandt. So it's a fun show. Those guys are great. They can talk about anything. They talk about books and movies. They're great friends, but they argue with each other. It's fun. So that's my stuff.
I watched Dexter, the newest one. It's good. It's
Dexter Jr.
I won't spoil it for Tim, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff kind of coming to a head, and it should be. I mean, we've only got a few episodes left, really. But yeah,
I thought it was weird that in episode 4 there was his son prevented a school shooting, and the kid was named Ethan, and he was bullied, and he wore glasses, and he looked weird. And the kid in Michigan who did the school shooting looked exactly like him and had the name Ethan. That was weird.
Yeah, that was
Weird coincidence.
weird
Yeah.
coincidence. Yes. Hawkeye only was able to catch up to 3.
What's that? What happens in 3?
More of them kind of becoming a team, and a cool car chase. Some cool explosions.
Lots of Atlanta in number 3.
Yeah,
I watched that one. Then I'm not on 4. I watched 3.
I watched 4 today.
Yeah, is it good?
Yeah, and somebody from the Marvel universe shows up. That's all I'll say.
I know who it is.
Yeah, I know. I think everybody in the world knew who it was. So it
Yeah,
wasn't.
you saw his hand in episode 3, right?
No, it's not a he.
It's not a he.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It was teased in a recent credit scene. So this kind of is the continuation of that. And so everybody thought it was going to be Kingpin, just like they had thought it was going to be Mephisto in WandaVision. And I don't know if that was going to be dangled, but they did. Marvel did come out and say that that the Daredevil is coming back, and it's going to be the same character from the Netflix show.
Yeah.
So
Disney,
Same actor too, right?
yeah, same actor. Yeah, and
cool.
hopefully that means they'll bring the rest of them back. Power Man and everything.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think there'll be a couple more, at least one more character introduced in this show before it gets to its end. And my staff pick is, they just announced it today. It's the South Park post-COVID, the return of COVID. It's the next movie.
holy shit!
It's going to premiere
Coming out fast.
Yeah, I know. They're just popping them out. And I remember Steph said that they were supposed to put a couple of movies out before the end of the year. And I was like, man, I haven't heard anything. And then they just dropped this today. But it's coming out Thursday, December 16th on Paramount Plus. And it looks like from the preview that there must be some kind of time traveling involved, because it shows the old crew talking to the young crew.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Themselves. So yeah, it ought to be pretty cool. But that's December 16th.
Oh, cool. Go ahead, Joe.
I watched the new Hawkeye, which we talked about. World Series of Poker on CBS Sports. I watched all of the final season of Lost in Space on Netflix. That was good. They wrapped it up nice. Yeah.
Good.
Dexter and Yellow Jackets. Squidbillies was really funny this week. It was the one that Dave was talking about when he was on, with the giant owl that was only attacking squids.
Oh, okay.
Dan Halen was like the mayor of Amityville and Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want to cancel apple picking because the owl was only attacking squids. It was good. Joe Pera Talks With You. Those are good. There's only 2 episodes of that left, I think. The Sex Lives of College Girls, or Poon as I'm referring to it. I watched the latest 2 of those. Very good. And that just got renewed too for another season. How To with John Wilson. I keep recommending this show to you guys. It's like Connor O'Malley is one of the writers from Joe Pera, and also from I Think You Should Leave with Tim Perry, with Tim Robinson. He's one of the writers on this show. So it's that kind of humor.
What's the NXIVM reference?
Yeah, in this latest episode, he talks about how when he was in college, he went to Binghamton.
Uh-huh.
When he was in college, he was in an a cappella group, and NXIVM invited like a bunch of a cappella teams to come to a big a cappella conference. It was basically like a NXIVM recruiting thing.
No way.
Yeah. And then they had their own a cappella group, but they were terrible. And so like John Wilson's team was like, these guys suck. And they got into a big battle with them.
Really?
And then they looked him up online and found out that he was like on these cult watch websites, and all these people were like reporting them as being a cult. And, this was years before he went to jail for life or whatever.
The girl that played Callie on Battlestar Galactica, she's in that. She was in NXIVM.
Yeah, and they show footage from this thing, and Allison Mack is there, and also that other girl from Smallville was also there.
Well, I read a long thread of hers on her Twitter feed where she's talking about how it was misrepresented, and certainly there were things going on, but it was all I guess everybody agreed to it and stuff. So she's defending it still, which I find funny. I guess she went to jail for a little bit, but I bet she won't get any more acting work. Sorry, go ahead.
Allison Mack went to jail too for 2. I think she got 2 years or something.
Wow.
But that's a good episode, and he's vindicated by the whole acapella band battle. And that's a funny show. You should watch it.
Okay.
I watched the mid-season finale of Fear the Walking Dead and the series finale of Walking Dead World Beyond. I'm glad that show's over, but they never did anything with Rick, who they were supposed to, because at the end of when Rick left The Walking Dead, he was taken by the people that are on the show, the World Beyond.
The helicopter people?
Yeah. So there was always, everybody thought, since this is the series finale, they'll give us some tidbit of what Rick's been up to, but nothing. Live in front of the studio audience, which we talked about. You can't watch it with the commercials on Hulu. That sucks. They should include the period.
You pay. I know, but you pay for Hulu Plus, so they cut the commercials out. Those are actually paid commercials, I bet.
Yeah, I'm sure they were, but they should leave them in or put them at the end or something. So you can watch
it's like Super Bowl commercials or stuff like that. You'll have the same problem.
Yeah,
you can go to YouTube and just type in the name of the show and the commercials, and it's the first thing that pops up.
The commercials were very good. I wasn't expecting that to have like period looking commercials and stuff. And they're like making fun of the Jordache jeans commercial and that kind of stuff, but for hot dogs.
Yeah.
And my staff pick is Nicole Byers' stand-up special on Netflix called BBW, Big Beautiful Weirdo. I think she's hilarious, and her show was really funny. Loosely, exactly Nicole, it's called. I think you can watch them all on Facebook Watch. It was a very funny show.
Okay. Thank you. Let's do views or snooze.
Hello, America. And once again, it's time for your favorite pastime. Which one will they choose? Play along with this week's edition of Views or Snooze. Take it away, Jeff.
All right. Number 1, Views or Snooze, Saturday Morning All-Stars on Netflix. This is an animated show from Kyle Mooney from SNL. It's animated by the guys that do Bob's Burgers, Bento Box, which is an Atlanta company. This is going to be his homage or whatever to like 80s, 90s Saturday morning cartoons.
That's a views for me.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah,
when does that
start? It starts this week.
Okay.
It's a views for me also. Number 2, talking about Invasion. If you're missing that show after it ends, you can check out the show Encounter on Amazon Prime. This is Riz Ahmed
from Night Of.
Yeah, the Night Of guy.
Yeah.
And he's on a mission to rescue his 2 sons after an alien invasion.
Hey, go look and see what Apple's doing. They're making an invasion show.
I'm not going to watch it. Yeah, I'm not going to view it unless it's about how humans all need to die in order for the Earth.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll see what people say about it before I decide. But right now, it's a snooze for me.
I'll view it just because that's the kind of crap I like to watch. So, yeah, that's right up my alley. And I'll decide whether I'll continue watching.
Oh, let us know what you think.
Yeah, I will.
And the number 3 views or snooze is Street Gang: How We Got to Sesame Street. This is a documentary on HBO coming out this week about Sesame Street, the world's most popular and influential children's television program.
Who made it?
This is made by the people that made Mad Hot Ballroom. It's based on a guy's book that he wrote about Sesame Street. So I'd like to check it out.
I'm going to say in views.
Yeah, I like seeing the old Sesame Street from when I was like a really little kid, because like I'm the exact same age as Sesame Street almost. I like the old Mr. Hooper days and stuff, so I'm gonna watch it just for that.
Yeah, I'll give it a views. I saw they showed a clip where they showed the scene where they had to tell the Muppets had to tell the kids or whatever that Mr. Hooper wasn't coming back after he died. That was powerful.
It was sad when they
remember that. Yeah, when Big Bird found out.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll give it a views.
The views also.
The guy who plays Gordon was on The Wire.
Was it?
Yeah, he played a Baltimore police officer that was helping McNulty and Bunk. I can't keep helping you with this shit, Bunk. Yeah. All right. So, thank you, Jeff. Before we wrap up, let's remember to plug barkville.org. Remember, if you are looking for a pet, to adopt and not shop. Steph could use your help with the one she has now, I'm sure. And she also wants to remind you not to try to chew stitches in your hip out. If you have a cone
Are they
on,
still doing those raffle thing? Is that over? The raffle she was doing?
I don't know.
I know they're wanting to build their own facility.
Yeah.
So they're trying to raise money. So
Yeah,
Well,
it'll
check
be,
them out. Go ahead.
Go if it'll be listed. It'll be listed in the video. I'll put it in here.
Well, check them out at barkvilledogrescue.org, and all the information will be in the link here and also in the show notes for the podcast, the one that's, you just listen to with your ears. Thanks again to Brian Troxel, who came on Radio Labyrinth Presents. If you haven't had a chance to listen to that one yet, please do. Remember to like and subscribe. If you're watching this video on YouTube, like the video and subscribe to it. It takes like 2 seconds. Just do both of those things. We really appreciate it. And you can follow us on all the social media. Radio Labyrinth is on Facebook, and we also have the Radio Shack, and we have Twitter at radio_labyrinth, 2 Facebook or 2 Instagram pages, and like Dustin said, a brand new TikTok, which is what?
RL Podcast.
RL Podcast. So thanks again for listening. We have a guest coming up next week I think you're going to enjoy. Until that time, please remember to keep it
Canon.
Please hang up and try again.